JNN एक नई रिवायत.
Hello, and welcome back to JNN News, your most trusted publicly funded news source. I'm your host, Jordi Monkay, and here's your weekly Goy Slop. A man accused of fucking horses at the Vernon Equestrian Center has been released after the horse stated it was consensual. Because I've got a lot on I.C.E, we've got a decent amount on Epstein. This week, Ukraine and Russia began peace talks. I've heard that one before. A new ICE shooting dropped. Alex Peretti is the second person this month to meet his end after bringing a protest to a gunfight. Anti-ICE protests continue to rage on, as it's become clear people are sick and tired of cold drinks. If I was running these protests, I'd just wait until summer. They'll melt away. But tens of thousands Minnesotans march on in a general strike against expanded federal immigration and deportation policies, leaving many wondering who's going to manage the daycares.
That's a good one.
You know, because that's
the mall you did. That's a good one.
Yeah, because in Minnesota, that's one of the big jobs.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
The people that run the daycares, yeah. But two journalists covering the Minneapolis ICE protests were arrested by federal authorities. At least they weren't shot. You know, because they've been shooting people. Massive anti-ICE protests spread across the United States after Home Depot parking lot labor has dropped to an all-time low. Hold on. Nash, grab your phone, search up where the Stephen Hawking festival thing happened. You know, you gotta get the facts right.
Spain.
A parade in Spain for ALS awareness happened this week, where many individuals participating dressed up as Stephen Hawking. Just a good excuse to cosplay as a retard with the boys. In other mentally handicapped news, Barbie has made a recent release of their new line of dolls, the Autistic Barbie. And next week, they're coming up with...
We got a new one in a wheelchair with a computer that tells them what to do. Like, some shit like that.
Okay, well...
When we say this, as we edit it, we add in a picture of what's happening, and then it allows us to clear the
Yeah, you know, many people are wondering why Myanmar is holding an election during a civil war. I assume that more corruption is the answer.
We can mix that in with the Epstein baby eating shit.
We got Epstein baby. Oh. The UK's Labour Party has blocked Andy Burnham from returning to Parliament. Rumour has it they would like it if Andy did not burn the ham at the annual party barbecue.
That's fucking terrible, dude.
I know, it's hard to cook ham. Protests in Germany took place this week as people are still upset over the Holocaust. Oh wait, sorry, the Middle East. The Europeans left unifies ahead of France's 2027 election, stating, if they are to have a trans first lady, it must be an openly trans first lady. International concern over Iranian protests rages. Many people saying it's because only foreign governments are allowed to kill Iranian citizens. You know, it's quite
I
odd.
thought you wanted to rape kids, dude.
Who doesn't? UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer met with Xi Jinping to show that Britain can be an authoritarian communist country too. But Starmer's broader Asia trip included visits to Tokyo and Beijing for political reasons, and then a visit to Thailand for pleasure.
I like myself some fanboys.
Back in Asian news. Campaigning continued ahead of the Japanese general election between two candidates that look exactly alike. You know, because these friggin' news. The 68th annual Grammy Awards dominated entertainment headlines with artists like Bad Bunny winning awards such as Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Gayest Mexican of the Year. With the Super Bowl approaching, narratives about the halftime show have evolved into a cultural defining platform, with questions circulating such as, how gay can a Mexican get? Right. Gold and silver prices plummet this week after a Jew was nominated as the new chair of the Federal Reserve. Can't trust paper money, but you sure can trust a Jew, Bill. The 2026 NHL Stadium Series was this week, featuring never-before-seen ice in Florida. Venezuela's acting president announced an amnesty law to free hundreds of political prisoners. Next week, they'll release a new amnesty law, releasing the rapists and murderers. That's me, Jordi Monkay. And if you believe in liberty, you should believe in me. Global tensions rise over U.S.-Greenland conflict, as many believe only third world countries should be invaded. Thousands protested in Tel Aviv and all across Israel this week, demanding higher interest rates on the Goyim. A United Nations High Seas Treaty entered into effect after finding a man in Davy Jones' locker. The WWE Royal Rumble of 2026 has thrilled fans in Riyadh, as the Roid Monkeys have also decided to take the blood money. A Florida State sprinter, Shennesee Walker, set ACC's record and one of the fastest 60-meter dashes in the world this week. You guessed it, she's black. The Women's Premier League continued this week with key matches that would be watchable if it was a sport played by men. Zootopia set a record in China this week for the highest grossing film in all sweatshops. This week, black people found out that prescription glasses do not contain medicine. Next week, they're going to find out that CBD is not a welfare card. You know, Kanye apologized to the Jews. He got the call. Right. Now, Epstein. This week, world leaders gathered in Davos with a focus on economic cooperation, AI governance, and what names should be redacted from the Epstein files. They chose all of them. But after the most recent drop of the Epstein files, it has been confirmed that even child predators think Elon Musk is a retard. The percentage of Jew or the price of a child sex slave?
Percentage of Jew.
With the most recent dropping of the Epstein files this week, turns out Adolf got it wrong. It's not the percentage of the Aryan you are that determines your capability. It's the percentage of Jew. But in the recent Epstein file drop, it turns out the most important metric to a human trafficker is the level of deprecation. The thing is, a fully slutted out girl goes for about $22,500 to a man like Donald Trump. What does a 15-year-old virgin go for? Not sure you could put a price on that. But I do know you'd have to blow Bubba for one of those. Alright. I am Jordi Monkay. This has been JNN News. Thanks for tuning in to your weekly Goy Slop.
खबर क्या है?
क्या खबर हकाइक को तोड़ मरोड़ कर पेश करना है या महज सच्चाई के साथ बयान करना?
क्या सनसनी खबरियत पर मबनी हो सकती है?
क्या खबर डेस्क पर बैठकर बन सकती है?
क्या खबर महज इंफरादियत पर मबनी होती है या इंफॉर्मेशन भी खबर होती है?
क्या खबर दर दर ख्वारी और भटकने से हासिल होती है?
क्या खबर रिसर्च, इन्वेस्टिगेशन और खोज का समर होती है?
क्या खबर माइक उठाकर इंटरव्यू करने से मिलती है?
खबर सच को पेश करने का एक सफर है।
खबर मसाइल की निशानदही का नाम है या मसाइल के हल के लिए पैदा की जाने वाली अवेयरनेस?
क्या खबर हैवानों से निकलती है या कहवाखानों से?
खबर एक सलीका है जिसके जरिए हम बताते हैं कि हकायक कहाँ छुपे बैठे हैं।